Gavin picked thoughtlessly at the bandages around his right arm. I've done this job for so many years, but I never experienced anything like this. He used his left hand to brush the light brown hair out of his face. I'm sorry if I'm rambling to kind of like random stuff. I just can't get her face out of my head. Whenever I close my eyes or whenever I lie down to sleep, all I see is her staring at me with just this anger, this strange woman. I mean, I know she's dead. I know she's dead, but why do I need to keep seeing her face? It's like she's haunting me. Gavin took a deep breath. I've been training and tutoring since I was 16. In the evenings, I taught English and biology, and on the weekend, I taught rugby. Both of it was in this pretty poor neighborhood. The area had quite a bad reputation with drugs and gangs, and I'd heard about a lot of abductions and murders and carjacking and the like happening there. He forced a smile. I'm quite big, I know, but I still never felt comfortable there. If anything, I thought that my size made me more obvious and more of a target. I always felt like I was just out of place. After my last student, I usually just ran to my car, and the moment I got inside, I locked the doors and just drove off as quickly as I could. Gavin shook his head. I did that so many times. At some point, it stopped being fear anymore. It was just sort of an automatic response. I would run out of the house, unlock the car, and jump in. It wasn't something I really thought about. But that evening, I got out later than usual. My student had a test the next day and wanted me to stay longer. And as a private teacher, that's not really a request, it's much of an order, because if you don't comply, they will just immediately find someone else. So I stayed longer. Till nearly 11 o'clock. Right away, when I ran to my car, something fell off. Gavin scratched his arms. It was as if the street was different from what I remembered. The car itself seemed different, maybe dirtier than usual. I ran inside, threw my bag in the back and locked the door. And only then did I notice the woman sitting in the passenger seat with this crazy look in her eyes. She had something in her hand, and it really looked like a weapon, maybe a bomb or something, and she was shouting at me in this angry language. It sounded like Arabic or something. I was terrified, and I just didn't know what to do, so I started the engine and drove off. I didn't even think about how small she was. She seemed so angry, and I didn't dare to question her. She kept gesturing towards the side of the street, and whenever she did, I looked for the next street and took a turn. But this woman was crazy. I mean, I don't know what she wanted. No matter how much I complied with her orders, she kept getting more and more aggravated, and she even started hitting me. She hit first my arms, straight with her fingernails into my flesh. I pushed her back, but I was still driving, so I couldn't keep her to the side, so somehow that made her even madder, and she hit me only harder, and she just kept trying to scratch my face. Gavin rubbed his knuckles. I don't know what came over me. I think it was more like instinct, like self-defense. I just hit her straight in the face. Didn't even think of it. I just hit her and moved the car to the right of the road to hold her back. But she got only more furious and kept shouting something about fucking Allah, and she kept lashing out at me as like she was trying to stab me in the eye. So I hit her again 2, 3, 4, 5 more times until she stopped moving. And only then, when I saw her lying there, with her head against the window, while I was fumbling for my mobile phone to call the police, I looked in the back mirror and saw the 2 small children. They were just sitting there, frozen in place, staring at me. They didn't say a word. But then I looked around, for the first time properly looked around, and only then I realised that it was the same model, the same colour. But there were stickers on the window and a small dancing Elvis on the dashboard, and the stereo didn't look like mine. It looked like mine, but it wasn't my car. I didn't really want to kill her. It was just my brain running on autopilot.